A giggle left your lips as you read Tanjiro's savage reply. Yin, a voice spoke out. You looked up to see Sabito. Shall we start? He asked. You nodded. Yeah, we should. By the way, where is... Okay, sorry. I was making sure this wasn't on the breakdown. Makimo, you asked. Oh, she headed out to hang out with her friends, Sabito replied. And you nodded in response. Where are you right now, you ask? Well, you're at Sabito's house. Well, shall we head to my bedroom? He asked. What are you two doing? Well, it definitely isn't what the listener is thinking of right now. The two of you were doing research for a science project. You nodded as the two of you headed to his bedroom. As you entered his room, you noticed there was a fox mask on a shelf. There were posters from his favorite shows. You noticed the room was heavily covered in green and yellow. Sorry, it's a little messy, he apologized. Messy? Messy? Bitch, this is cleaner than my forehead. What the fuck, you thought? Oh, no worries, he replied. He soon motioned you to sit. You did as you were told. You soon set your laptop and notebook on his table. He also did the same as he sat in front of you. What should we research about? Sir Akaza told us to focus only on one topic, you asked. How about we focus on the stars? Sabito asked. Oh, sure, you agreed to as his suggestion. Then let's start, you added. After what felt like years, you scratched your arms as the two of you finally finished doing research. Wow, that was tiring, you mumbled as you soon checked your phone. It was about 5 p.m. Your eyes widened. Holy shit, I didn't know we finished so late. You were in such disbelief as you had come to his house at 10 a.m. I should take you home, Sabito spoke out as he started to place his stuff back in its usual place. Oh, sure, he replied as he finished placing your laptop and notebook back into your bag. Sorry, I was reading one of the things and I remember. You soon got up, ready to leave Sabito's room. Well, thankfully, the game gods didn't pull any cliche shit like me tripping and then Sabito will catch me and then would kiss. You were cut off by you tripping on air. You were cut off by Sabito catching you. He pulled you to him to make sure you didn't fall flat face on your first big mistake. He pulled you too hard and now your weight was all on him. He was overwhelmed and soon thud. The two of you let out a groan. You landed on his chest while he landed on the bed. You slowly got up, and soon you were met with the sight of him below you. Your eyes widened. Sabito, You were cut off by the sound of his door opening. Sabito, I'm back. By the way, have you seen my... The two of you turned to see Makimo, who stared at you for a second before saying nothing. Oh, sorry for disturbing you two, she added and closed the door. Sabito, wear protection, okay? She shouted through the other side of the door. The two of you resembled tomatoes over how embarrassed you two were. You quickly got off top of him. Wait, Makimo, this is all a misunderstanding, he shouted as he followed Makimo. Damn, I jinxed it, you thought, regretting that you left your guard down when you thought that the game gods wouldn't do anything cliche. Time skip. Sabito, hold still, you scolded him. I can't properly write it, you added. He let out a chuckle and soon stabilized his hand for you to perfectly write what you were writing. And there, finish. You let out a wide smile. You wrote the word lifers on Sabito's hand, while you wrote 4 on your hand. 4, you spoke out and held out your hand for a high five. Lifers, Sabito replied as he didn't leave you hanging. The two of you let out a laugh. We should do this at our presentation, he suggested. All right, let's do it, Sabito replied. Sabito soon noticed that the two of you were near your apartment. Oh, Ian, we're here, he commented, but soon noticed a familiar figure. Is that Sabito was cut off by you? Giyu? You spoke out in disbelief. Giyu soon noticed the two of you. Yin and Sabito, he replied as he walked up to the two of you, confused. What were the two of you doing? He asked. Oh, we were doing research for our science project. He was just taking me home. What about you? Do you need anything from me? You asked. No, I was just about to return the book I borrowed, he replied, as he hands you a paper bag containing the book he borrowed from you. Thanks. By the way, the ending of this book is unexpected, right? Gyu nodded his head in response. I thought it was easy to predict, but turns out it wasn't, he replied. Sabito soon spoke up. Yin, I'll go back now so we can talk about the project more through text, he told you. Oh, sure, you replied. They have each other's number, Gyu thought, as the jealousy he was feeling doubled. Sabito nodded and soon left. Be careful on your way home, you shouted as you watched him leave. You then turned to Gyu. You were about to open your mouth to say something. I'll see you on Monday, Yin, he told you. Oh, yeah, see you on Monday, Gyu, you replied. Sabito is my friend. They're just talking about the project. But I can't help but be jealous, Gyu thought as he left. He had planned in his mind when he came to your apartment, but now another thought was occupied his mind. Time skip. Blake, if I told you I'm lying in bed right now, aren't I actually telling you the truth? You asked. Blake soon let out a sigh. Yin, can I just peacefully do my job? He replied. Nope, you told him. He rolled his eyes. Why are you here anyway, you brat? It's Saturday. Why are you in school? He asked. Well, you're here, so, you replied as he let out a giggle. I'm an annoying fly you can't easily get rid of, you added. You let out an evil laugh. Just fucking kill me already, Blake mumbled as he was getting a headache just by your presence. You then noticed something about Blake. That's weird. Blake, did you quit smoking? You asked. Oh, you used to smoke a lot, you asked. I quit a long time ago, he replied. Aw, is it because of Ducky? You asked. No, it's because of you, he replied in a serious tone. You were taken aback by how serious reply as you expected a sadistic one. Really? You stuttered as you were in shock. Look, kid, don't get the wrong idea. You're always around me, so I had no choice but to quit. You then let out a giggle. Shut up. Oh, shut up, tsundere. Don't make excuses, you told him. Tsundere? You brat, I'm not. He then let out a sigh. Well, since it's just the two of us, I have something important to tell you. Blake told you as he stopped sweeping the floor. Your eyebrows knit in confusion. What is it? You asked as he sat down next to you. I think that we should leave, he told you. You raised an eyebrow. I thought you wanted to stay, you asked. I do, but I realize that we can't stay here. What'll happen if the game ends? What'll happen to you and... His voice trails off. And those love interests. They're treating you differently. I'm worried if something I can't predict and something happens to you, but I can't prove... I don't have any proof yet that the love interests are acting weird, he thought. There's also Bob Ayabo. But how come Yin doesn't know who he is? Is she even aware of his true identity? He thought. And, you asked. And, we have families back in the real world. I'm sure you miss them, he added. You looked down. He was right. You missed your family. And you want to go back home. What about Daki? You spoke out. I'll take care of that. Don't worry. All you need to worry about now is finding that exit, he replied. You were about to say something, but a voice spoke out. Good morning to the both of you. The two of you turned to see Daki. She soon walked up to the two of you. Good morning, Miss Docky. You changed your demeanor as you gave her a wide smile. Good morning to you, too, he replied. Well, I need to go and buy the groceries I need, so I got a dip. You spoke out as you stood up. As you were about to leave, Blake stopped you. Be careful, Yin, all right? He asked as he had a serious facial expression. You nodded in response and soon left. You were confused as to what he was warning you from, or who. You let out a squeeze as Yuko, Bob's grandmother, showed you an embarrassing child photo of Bob. I can't breathe from laughing so much. You spoke out as you hugged your stomach. The picture she showed was unbelievable embarrassing. So, in favor of Bob's privacy, we can't tell the listeners what it is. Sorry. But how did you end up in this situation? Well, you were on your way to the market, but then Bob and his grandmother noticed you and told you to come visit for some brownies, and you ended up at their home. It was mostly his grandmother's doing, and the talking and passion, I think that's how I say it. But do you have any regrets? No. Grandma, that's enough. This is really embarrassing. Bob spoke out. Yoko giggled and soon closed the photo album. Well, that's Bob's most embarrassing stories, she commented. That was beautiful, Ma'am Yoko, you replied. She cringed at the word ma'am. Oh, please, just call me Yoko. There's no need for ma'am, she reassured you. You nodded in response. Now come, have some more brownies. There are also sandwiches, she suggested. Oh, but you were cut off by her looking at you with an innocent but what face? Never mind. You took a slice of the brownie and ate it with no regrets. Grandmothers just have the power of feeding you even if you're full. Yoko gave you a wide smile. She then turned to Bob. Bob, can you go get a beverage for Yin? Yoko asks. Bob nods and soon left. Yoko soon turned to you. You know Yin, she spoke out. You then looked at her. I'm so happy that Bob is finally getting some friends. He would always come home with a sad look on his face. I would always get worried if there was something bad happening to him. I always ask him, but Bob, being too nice for his own good, he keeps his feelings to himself. She added. You listened to her anxiously. Ever since you came along, he's always worn a small smile when he comes home. And he also became a little cheerful, to which I am so happy about. So Yin, look after Bob. And please continue being his friend. Yoko continued, as she gave you a sincere smile. You then touched her hand and reassured her. I will. You gave her a smile. Yoko was about to say something, but Bob had already came back. Bob hands you a beverage. You let out a thank you in response. The doorbell rang. Oh, that must be my new rice cooker. Yoko quickly got up and headed to the entrance door. The only ones left in the living room was just you and Bob. Ian, I apologize. My grandma has a lot of energy. Bob spoke out. You let out a small chuckle. There's no need to apologize. I actually enjoy your company, you replied. Bob opened his mouth to say something, but quickly stopped himself. I shouldn't say it. I'll tell her at the right time, Bob thought, as he took small glances at you. Meanwhile, Docky and Blake were sitting on a bench, enjoying each other's company. You know, Blake, you're really out of this world, Docky commented as she lays her head on his shoulder. Blake pauses before replying. Funny thing is, I am out of this world. Docky raises an eyebrow and looks at him. What do you mean? She asks. I'm not from this world, Docky. Blake replied. Chapter 64 is a flashback, so yeah, have fun. Well, basically half of it's flashback, but who cares? Blake stretches his arms as he lets out a groan. My back hurts like hell, he mumbled. Well, that's because your posture is literally like a shrimp, his coworker commented. Please don't act as if your posture isn't bad. You literally look like a banana, Blake replied. He soon got up from his chair and went to look what his coworker was working on. Blake raised an eyebrow. Who the hell is that? He looks like a hentai protagonist, he commented as he pointed at the character model of the male character. His coworker let out a chuckle. Don't make fun of him. Besides, boss said to give the game a little spice. So, his coworker replied. The hell? I thought this was a family-friendly video game, Blake asks. His coworker hisses in frustration. Not that kind of spice, you asshole, he replied. He's going to be both important and unimportant character, both a friendly and scary character. It depends on the player's playthrough, his coworker added. It's going to be so fun when they find out about him. His coworker lets out an evil laugh. Well, what's his name? Blake asks. His name, Bob Ibo. Someone called out his name. Is your full name right? The person added. Bob nods his head. Yes, Sir President. I mean Sir Rengoku. President Rengoku, he replied. Kojiro let out a chuckle. You can call me Rengoku. No need for formalities, he reassured him. Well, thanks, Bob. We'll call you when we're going to start to clean up the gym for the play. Oh, shit. Well, because the Bob transitioned. Okay, sorry. You gave a small smile. Bob looks down to hide the hint of red on his cheeks. Thank you, he replied, and quickly left. He's quiet and a shy fellow, huh? Kojiro commented. Yeah, but don't worry. He's dependable and strong, he reassured him. Kojiro let out a small chuckle. Well, if you say so, I'll trust your judgment, he replied. The school bell rang. Oh, it's already lunch break? We should go to the cafeteria together, Kojiro asks. Well, I can't today. I promised to eat lunch with Blake. You told him? Oh, well, I guess I'll see you later, he replies, as he gives you a small smile. Deep inside, Kojiro was jealous. In fact, jealous is an understatement. So what he was feeling right now, but since he knows you only think of Blake as a father figure and nothing more, he won't harm him. Yet. Once he knows something is wrong, he'll tighten his grip on you. Yep, let's talk later, you told him as you waved him goodbye and soon left. As you headed to the back of the school where Blake was, you bumped into Docky. Oh, hey, Docky. Docky soon noticed you and let out a small gasp. You raised an eyebrow at her reply. Is there something wrong? You ask. No, don't worry, Ian. She gave you a small smile. Well, if you excuse me, I have some place to be, she added and soon left. You watched her leave in confusion. What is up with Docky? Wait, did Blake do something? He did tell me he'd take care of Docky when You let out a small gasp as you quickly headed to where Blake was, ready to fight him for whatever he had done to Docky. You were soon at the back of the school. You noticed Blake was still sweeping the ground. You stomped up to him. Blake, you asshole, what did you do? You spoke out. Blake turned around to see an angry midget marching up to him. What the fuck do you? You cut him off. Docky is acting weird. She seems to have a lot in mind. What the hell did you do? You added. I didn't do anything. I'm innocent, he replied. Then what did you say to her? You spoke. He then went quiet. Well, I told her. Flashback. I'm not from this world, Docky. Blake spoke out in a serious tone. Docky raised an eyebrow. Are you joking, right? She asks as she crossed her arms, not impressed by the joke. Blake shook his head. I'm not lying, Docky. I know it's going to be hard to believe, but I'm from another world. I don't know how I got here. I just woke up, and when I looked around my surroundings, it was all different. I must have been transported. I might have died in the real world. I honestly don't know, Blake replied.